Hello angels, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, or if you're new here, welcome. It's genuinely been a minute. Like, I'm fully aware that I said I'd be back, as I have done many times before, but literally I did the last video, I think it was end of July. I posted it, I think it was August time, and since then my life has been pretty insane. So I am back, hopefully, and I really genuinely want to make this like a frequent thing, the YouTube videos. But we're all human, and we all sometimes go back on our own words sometimes. Although I do plan on not making that a habit, to be honest. So today's video, before I continue to ramble on, is actually going to be about how you are the reason why you're not achieving what it is that you want to achieve. And I can confidently say this, hand on my heart, because I am massively guilty of doing this myself. So if you are interested in what I have to say, please do stick around. If you like these kind of chit-chat videos about, I want self-improvement, I guess, manifestation, just lifestyle content, chit-chat stuff, please do hit the subscribe button, share this video, it helps a girl out, and let's get straight into it. Actually, get yourself a cheeky little hot bevy first. I've got a matcha. I'm going to show you guys the matcha now. I have a matcha in a mug that's literally bigger than my head, so go get yourself a hot bevy, sit down, and let's get into it. So the last video that I made was the fear of being seen as like just stop the fear of being seen. And to be honest with you, I posted it, and straight after I posted it, I had the biggest imposter syndrome I've ever had in my entire life. Total identity crisis. I quit what I was doing at work. I'm still at the same workplace, but basically I was a manager. I decided to step down because the stress was just not worth it for me, and it was starting to eat into my mental health. Right after I did that, my granddad passed away, which was incredibly unexpected. And then I got really deathly ill in end of December, beginning of January. So I had a month off work then. I was in hospital for a week. My health really took a massive turn, and it was like a full 180 for me. And then just when I started to feel normal and things got back to normal, my great grandmother died as well. So to say the least, it has been a very interesting 8-9 months now. We also have a new addition to the family. His name is Mango, and he's currently curled up on the floor, just chilling. But he is a cute little puppy. To add to all of the carnage that's been going on, he's massively reactive towards dogs because he had a couple of pretty bad encounters with off-lead dogs when he was very tiny. So my life has been a bit wild, but I have been using the excuse of I can't do the things that I want to do because I don't have enough time, because I don't have enough money, because I'm not attractive enough, because I don't have the followers or the friendship group or anything like that. And it, like, the last couple of months I've just had this massive realization that actually we are our biggest critics, and we are the reason why we don't achieve what it is that we set out to achieve. Now, before anyone comes for me being like, well, have you taken into account that some people come from difficult backgrounds? This is nuanced. This does not apply to everybody, obviously. But my opinion is, and my opinion might change in the future, but my opinion is, if you live in a country like this and you have had access to an education and you do have a family that support you, there is literally no reason, and you're able-bodied, there is literally no reason why you can't go and achieve the things that you want to achieve. I think it's really easy to play the victim, and I think the victim mentality is what keeps people stuck in their current situations. And to be honest with you, I think it's time that we all sort of take a little bit of accountability and responsibility for that. So yeah, I obviously understand that this will not apply to everybody, but it applies to a large majority of people. For an example, myself, obviously there will be a few people that are subscribed on here that have been subscribed since 4 years ago. If you remember my channel back then, it was tarot readings, it was all things to do with manifestation and spirituality, and I just totally fell off the horse. I fell off the bandwagon. My mental health just sort of took a nosedive, and I blamed every single thing around me for the reason why I couldn't be on here making YouTube videos, why I couldn't continue being up on social media and being present. And it was all totally in my own head, and I was playing the victim in a situation where it didn't really make sense at all. So I think hitting rock bottom for me has been the best thing ever, because it's made me realise, holy shit, I'm not actually a victim at all. I was now, but in the time where I should have felt the most like, oh my god, everything, oh my god, I've got a little bit of hair that's sticking out, in the time where I should have been the most like, oh my god, everything's falling apart, I can't do anything, that's what actually gave me the push to be like, actually no, get up and start doing things that you want to do. And I think as well, for those of you who maybe do watch other content creators similar to this, Leo Skeppy, I love Leo Skeppy. He just says it how it is, and I think it's really good to have somebody like that on social media. To be honest with you, I think we need more individuals like that on social media that just say it how it is. But he made a video not that long ago basically saying that we're normalising laziness, and I couldn't agree more. I think there is an aspect where, yes, you have to be soft with yourself, you have to love yourself first before you create change. But being so soft with yourself to the point that you think you're the victim in every single situation and you allow yourself to feel victimized constantly, you're literally going to achieve nothing. Like, you're not going to go anywhere. You're not going to do anything. You're not going to be the individual that you want to be, because you're constantly living in the mindset of, woe is me, the world's against me, the world hates me. It doesn't. You hate you, and that's why you're not getting what you want to get, and you're not getting where you want to get. And that's how I feel about that topic. Genuinely though, I think it's like insane that so many people will be like, oh, because I can't go and create an online social media presence, or like for an example, I can't go to the gym. I think this is like the easiest one. I can't go to the gym because I don't have time. There's all the other people that go to the gym, like 90% of the people that go to the gym, they also work full-time jobs, they also have a very similar schedule to you, and they make time. I think when you're like, no, I can't do it because of X, Y, and Z, well, no, you're never going to do it, because you're constantly making excuses for why you can't do the thing that you set out to do. I'm so guilty of this, especially when it comes to Mr. Mango, who you just heard grumbling. As I said, he's a little bit reactive. That's an understatement. He's very reactive with other dogs. We've gotten really good with his reactivity towards people, cars, bikes, etc. But he's super reactive towards other dogs, and I can't take him out. I can't take him out at this time, because, like, I'm just so scared that he's going to bump into somebody, and I don't know how to deal with it. And for like a month, maybe a little bit longer, I would make my partner do the majority of the walks, because I, quite frankly, was too scared to do them, and I was creating a scenario that didn't exist. I was in my own head about this, and I was basically making excuses for no reason. And so many people do this, and like I said, I'm totally guilty of it. Like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh no, I don't do that, look at me, I'm so much better than everybody else. I'm not. I made excuses for 2 years as to why I shouldn't be posting YouTube videos, as to why I shouldn't open up that TikTok account, as to why I shouldn't, change the direction which my online presence was going. I was doing so well on Instagram. Like, by no means was I a big creator, but I was making a decent amount as a side hustle from my tarot readings, and also from selling my crystals on my crystal shop. And I got in my own head. That's literally all it was. I got in my own head, and I decided that I wasn't good enough. And I decided that nobody wants to watch me, and nobody wants to hear what I say. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's probably a lot of people who can give a shit, which is fair enough. If I'm not your cup of tea, that's absolutely fine. But I literally stopped myself because of my own insecurities, and because I was in this weird place of making excuses. It's like, even with getting ready now, I'm not one of these people that's like, you need to wear makeup on a daily basis or do your hair on a daily basis. Trust me, half the time I look like a toe, and that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. But I went through a phase of being such a slob that, like, I didn't put makeup on my face or anything, or like actually put effort into the way that I looked for months. And again, this is all obviously mental health related. But like the moment that I made that switch and I was like, actually, let me just put on a little bit of foundation, I felt better. And then I was like, there's actually no excuse for me not to do this. And now it's become part of my routine. It's like, for an example, all the girlies out there that are like, I really want a good skincare regimen. You can do that. And it doesn't have to be expensive as well. It doesn't have to be, because I've had really expensive skincare and really expensive makeup products. And I've also had like literally stuff from Primark, where maybe the money's been a little bit tighter. You can make things work. You're just choosing not to make them work. And it's because you're making excuses and because you're in this victim mentality. And I feel like it's a people thing, because I feel a lot of people would prefer to complain as opposed to take accountability, because it's easier to complain. It's easier to point the finger at somebody else. It's easier to say, you stopped me from achieving my dreams. You stopped me from, starting that business and looking the way that I want to look. No, you're stopping yourself. For an example, if you're in a toxic relationship, let me cook, okay? Let me cook. If you're in a toxic relationship and, you've realized that individual isn't for you, you can walk away. Again, this is nuanced. I understand there's things that obviously play into that, and it can be harder and it can take more time to walk away from somebody. But if you're choosing to stay in a toxic friendship, in a toxic relationship, being in a toxic family, and then saying, I can't do what I want to do because of them, no, it's because of you. It's because you can't walk away, and you're basically clipping your own wings because you'd rather point the finger at somebody else because it's easier. Again, I know this doesn't apply to literally everybody, but it applies to a large majority of people. How many times have you been friends with somebody and you know that this person just doesn't have your best interest at heart, and you know this, and you continue to be friends with them, and then you act all surprised when they actually aren't supportive at all, and they discourage you from doing things that you want to do, or they lead you on to doing things that maybe aren't great for you and your path and the way that you want to go down. And then you realise that these individuals aren't good to be around. But rather than leaving them, you're like, oh, well, I can't go to do it because they'll make fun out of me. And then I can't because I'll disappoint these people. At the end of the day, who pays your bills? Who cooks your food? Who makes the decisions in your life? You. And I think this is the reason why I've sort of disappeared for a little while, is there was a lot of relationships and things impacting me where I was too scared to be seen. Ironic, I know, we're all people, we can change our minds. It's also something that I'm if I would change my mind about something, I'm very open to be I used to think this, I don't think this anymore, I've changed my opinion, XYZ. We're people, we're meant to grow and change our minds. That's literally the point of being a human. But I was too scared of being seen by these individuals. And then the moment that I realised, actually, if these people take the mickey at me, or if these people laugh at me, again, it doesn't just have to be friendships, or they make comments, then obviously they don't have my best interest. And why should I stop what it is that I want to do just because I'm too scared of what somebody might say to me? Why am I pointing the finger at them? Oh, I can't do that because this person will say that. That makes no sense. That's literally taking no accountability for your own life. It's weird. But it's even going... So, for those of you that know, my health has been up and down. When I was hospitalised for, basically they thought I had meningitis or sepsis. I did not end up having either of those things. They never really told me what I had, but I had 5 infections all at the same time in my body. I was ill, very unwell. And at that point I was my heaviest weight I've ever been. So, sort of reaching that point, I've always sort of blamed, because I work, it's really hard for me to do anything because I work and I have a sit down job and it's hard to find time in the evening. Now I go out, I exercise, I eat healthier. I have to walk my dog daily because he's got a hell of a lot of energy, and I don't have that excuse anymore. And if you know, someone asks to do something, but I've already planned it in my head or planned it with my partner, we're going to go on this walk or we're going to do this activity. Sorry, no, I'm not available. We can't do it because I'm putting me first. I'm not going to say yes to somebody else and then blame them and be the victim in that situation because if I made a decision to not follow through with what it is that I did. Like, I know this is a little bit of a rant and a bit of a like rampage. I don't know if rampage is the right word, but it just really frustrates me, like when you have conversations with people and they've got a million and one excuses as to why they can't achieve certain things, or all they do is complain and complain. And don't get me wrong, like I wanna hear the tea, but like when people complain a lot about things, even online, like I've recently got TikTok again, and a lot of TikTok is literally just complaining about everything. And I just think if something doesn't fit into your life and something doesn't suit, then maybe that's a sign to let something go. 2, if you're blaming other people for all of the reasons why you can't achieve something, then maybe you should take a look in the mirror and actually ask yourself why you're blaming other people, because probably it's got nothing to do with them but everything to do with you. And 3, I'm just so annoyed when people just complain and complain. And the worst thing is when somebody's complaining and you give them a solution to the problem and they're like, nah, that's not going to work. And it's like, but have you tried it? No. So why ask me? And here's another thing. Like, I don't want to be that person that's like always coming up with solutions, because I'm very much somebody who likes to complain. Trust me, I do. I like a little natter and I like a little bit of a complaining session. But the thing is, if you're genuinely complaining about the same thing over and over and over again, people giving you solutions, you're not taking them, that's kind of down to you. That is totally down to you, and you're totally at fault. And constantly playing the victim in those situations when you're fully well aware there's been, like, for an example, if you're constantly complaining about the same thing to your friend and your friend's gone, why don't you just, have you thought of doing this? Maybe this is going to help your problem. And you go, no, I couldn't do that. And then you continue to complain. It's like, you're literally going to push people away because you are your own enemy. Like, you are your own enemy in that situation. I don't know. It's just been a couple of months of a lot of realizations for me. I know this one, again, this is like a massive tangent, and I think I said this in the last video, but the next video that I do, I would like it to be a little bit more structured. Social media is something I really want to talk about, to be fair, because I feel like that has impacted us in a way that we don't even realize. Like, the fact that literally every other post is an ad to me is insane. But I suppose that's the world that we live in now. But yeah, no, I just think if you've got a dream and you want to do something, do it. Stop blaming other people for why you can't achieve certain things just because your own fears and your own limiting beliefs. I think as well, the 2 biggest creators that I watch regularly that really sort of like put it nicely but basically say the same thing that I'm saying here is definitely Hailey Gamba and Leo Skeppy. I love watching their videos. They're always so informational and motivational as well. Is informational a word? Informative is what I was meant to say. But I always feel like I take something away from it, and it's always really like motivational as well. But at the same time, it's like a reality. It's like a slap in the face of reality, and I feel like that's what people need. I think we've gotten really soft, and we've gotten really like, oh, it's okay if you want to like blame everybody for your problems, that's fine. Don't get me wrong, like you can still be mad at people if they've done you wrong, but like why dwell on it? Why sit on it? Why then continue to blame? Like if you had an argument or somebody made a comment about how you wouldn't be good at, I don't know, making YouTube videos as an example, why would you hold on to that like 3, 4, 5 years later and continuously go, I can't do it because this person said that? If you're holding on to it and you're letting it stop you, that's down to you. Like, that is fully down to you. So yeah, that's my 2 cents. That's been weighing on my mind. Hope you guys enjoyed, and yeah, hopefully the next one's going to be longer and a little bit more informational and informative. I can't say the bloody word, informative. And I shall see you guys in the next one. Bye.